One of the biggest decisions a man will make in his life is selecting a woman to be his wife. Oftentimes, a vast majority of men find themselves living in a nightmare because they have selected a woman without having wisdom or discernment. Join me as I dive into a tough challenge, figuring out if she's the one for you or is it just a waste of time? Before we dive into this controversial topic, I'll roll this clip for you to examine. Let's talk about it.
Me and a man's nature is totally incompatible. Because look, I'm not submissive. I'm not submitting. I have my own dreams, goals. I'm ex-military. I got commissioned as an officer, right? You're not coming into my life telling me what to do and to put my shit up so I can support you and just focus on you. No, either you're going to accept me for who I am or you're not. A man wants somebody to be submissive. I'm telling you straight up, I'm not going to be submissive. I'm not producing no more kids. I got one child, that's enough, right? So I'm totally, in my mind, I'm overqualified for men. I understand what men say they want. I don't fit the mold of what a man wants. And I'm not trying to.
All praise to the Most High Yah Shalom. Thank you for tuning in to another Righteous Spirit-filled episode. Today I'm back at it in them trenches, handling that kingdom business. In today's video, I hope to give you 10 telltale signs if a woman is wife material and has the mind for marriage. After this video, you will be comfortable in accepting the reality of who and what a woman may not be in order to have the confidence to move on and take your offer elsewhere. Man, if you saw in that video clip, this woman is very vocal and upfront, and men must navigate the difficult challenge of discerning this. For the women out there that have this same mindset but won't verbally say it, you have to be able to recognize the signs, and this is where the gift of discernment comes in. Before I go any further, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn your notifications on, that way you can receive all of the content that I'm dropping. Reason number 1, lack of accountability. Okay, if you are dealing with a woman who can do no wrong, man, that is one of the main, tenets of she's not wife material. This is a woman that will hold you accountable, want to, stand over you as the supervisor and point out everything that you're doing wrong, contrary to how hard you are working. But when it comes to you giving her, righteous correction in order to strengthen her walk, she's not receiving it. And that is, trait number 1 that you need to be mindful of, because it is very dangerous. And you have a lot of men that have recognized this well after they've put a ring on it, and it is a painful journey to navigate. Reason number 2, she's sexually immoral with her temple. When we think about this, man, there are a lot of women in this daytime and hour who are bisexual, lesbians, and things like that. And if they haven't fully repented and turned from that former way of life, man, you are dealing with a disaster on your hands. You have to think about it. Was she in these bisexual relationships or in these lesbian relationships, was she a stud? She's going to have a lot of, masculine spirits upon her. And that's not what a man is seeking when he is looking for a wife. And keep in mind, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about the biblical wife. There is no perfect man. There is no perfect woman out here. The only one that was perfect was the Messiah. But there are some men and women that we should stay away from. And today I'm describing the type of women that a man should avoid as a wife. Be my guest. If you want to go out here and go against this information that I'm giving you, or go against this wisdom, one thing you can't do is have the knowledge, have the wisdom to go make an ignorant choice and then play victim at the end of the day. When you think about this, when you think about a woman who is sexually immoral with her temple, I want you to realize that a lot of women like the option of marriage. But when it comes down to it, their temple is not clean enough for marriage. And her vessel is harboring all of those spirits, all of that DNA, all of that semen that's been inserted in her. When it comes to women laying down with women as they would a man, you're dealing with some wicked stuff. And if you don't vet this stuff properly and discern it, man, that's going to become your problem. Number 3, refusal to submit. Wants to be the leader, has the mind of a man. When you look at the clip that I played, and this woman saying that she was an officer, saying that she was in the military, man, there's a lot of women out there that have that same mindset. They will tell you flat out, I'm not going to submit. And you have to discern between these women that say that they are godly women. A lot of them will have a religion. And you'll realize once you start applying pressure from what the book actually says, about the wife being subject to her husband and everything, the wife being submissive, seeing to that she loves her husband, being a helpmeet, some of these women are the furthest thing away from it. And as a man, you have to live in reality and say, hey, as much as I desire this woman to be my wife, she does not have the quality, she does not have the character, she does not have the attributes. This is a woman that wants to be your taskmaster. Rather than you being the head and being the authoritative figure divinely given to you by the Most High Yah, no, she's not submitting to that. This is a woman that takes on the mindset of, I want to be the provider and the protector. Men, you have to walk away from women like this, because they will get in the way of you fulfilling your job, because they think that they can do your job better than you. Number 4, she has tasted the fruits of leading a lot of men. If you looked in this doggone that clip I posted, man, this is a woman who was in the transportation corps, and she said she was a truck driver in the military. There's a high probability that if she was in the Army, her MOS was probably an 88 series of officer sort. And one thing about these MOSs, man, these are MOSs that are filled with a lot of men. And in order to progress and thrive in that career, she had to demonstrate masculinity and leadership over men. But when we look at the biblical wife, she's not supposed to have any authority over man. So you have to be able to recognize this also as a man. She has tasted these fruits. And one thing about it is, when a lot of women taste this power, man, there becomes a fight for power in the house when the Most High Yah has given it to you as the man, as the head. The book says, when you read Genesis, it says, and he shall rule over you. But a woman who has tasted the fruits of leading a lot of men and been in that dominant position, been in that masculine position of leadership, a lot of them aren't willing to let it go. And men, you have to walk. Number 5, she doesn't have a teachable spirit. This is one of the most critical things, man. There's women out there that want to know how to be good wives and want to know how to do X, Y, and Z and some of the goals that they have. And there's men out there that doggone have the skill set and the wisdom and the knowledge to be able to pour into them. But what will stop that from happening? A woman that has a teachable spirit. The moment when you trying to, it's very hard to teach somebody that feels like they are the teacher when they should be in the role of the student. As a teacher, as a man, I'm not going to sit up and wrestle with somebody that is asking me how to do something, but thinks they already know how to do it and they've seen me successfully do it and demonstrate it. Number 6, she's a lip service worshiper. Meaning, when we look at the Proverbs 5 and that word says, man, her lips drip with honey. Her words are smoother than oil. Man, she knows how to finesse you with words and say stuff that you will take for face value without ever holding her accountable to put action behind it. She might say she's a godly woman. She might say she has a relationship with the Most High Yah. But when we look at it, you're looking at an idolatrous woman who is doing nothing but tickling your ears for the purpose and sake of getting an opportunity. When we look at, does she fear the Most High Yah and keep the commandments? The answer is a flat out no. If anything, if you start holding her accountable to fearing the Most High Yah and keeping the commandments out of the statements that she has said that she's a godly woman, you're going to realize, man, demons will manifest in this woman. Number 7, she has high expectations while delivering no servitude. She's not a helpmeet. When the Most High Yah created a woman for a man, he created the woman to be a suitable helper to man. You can look at the clip of this woman that I posted in the beginning of the video, and she's the furthest thing from it. She's telling you flat out, I'm not willing to do it. I know what a man wants, but I'm not willing to do it. The problem is, as a man, there's a lot of women that like the opportunity, they like the resources, they like the benefits that marriage brings. But when it comes to actually being a woman that helps a man meet his mission, which is the purpose of a woman, to be a helpmeet. This is what the Most High Yah created you for. Some of them have tasted the sinful fruits of this world, and they want nothing to do with it. And men, you have to know, you know what, man, I'm gonna take my opportunity elsewhere. I'm gonna accept this woman as she is, but I'm also not going to give her an opportunity, and I'm going to walk. This is if you make the mistake of selecting this woman as a wife, this is a woman that is gonna want you as a man to be the mother to their doggone children. And you're gonna wonder why the house seems like it's out of order and it's out of balance. Because she's not gonna help you with any of this. She's gonna dump the bulk of the responsibility on you. She doesn't know her biblical role as a woman. This is also due to her operating in a world that does not promote biblical principles, biblical roles. Number 8, she's not trustworthy or dependable. This is a woman that will tell you she will do things, and when it comes to you being able to trust in her word, when it comes in you being able to trust in her actions, can she continuously come through over and over again for the things that she verbalizes? She can't do it. She can't do it. And this is tied to lack of accountability also. When you ask her and hold her feet to the fire and say, how come you didn't do X, Y, and Z? This is when you're going to get, she's pissed off, she's depressed, she's got anxiety, all kind of foolishness. You're going to hear every excuse in the book. You got these women out here that want these big elaborate weddings. They want these big old rings and all of this stuff. They want this red carpet laid out for them. And they'll tell you and give you that lip service like they talked about. And they'll say, hey, I'll be this kind of wife for you. I'll be this and I'll do that. And I got you. You don't have to worry. And the minute you give them what they want, and that ink is dry on that paperwork, which I've got videos telling men to avoid. There's other way to be married without a state issued marriage license. You're going to realize, man, this woman is you can't trust her. You can't trust her further than you can see her. And if you have to count on her as a mother, as a wife to raise your children, as to be that helpmeet, man, she's going to fail you every turn she gets. Number 9, man, this is a very big one, a very big component. Man, if you see as a man a woman that is struggling to move according to logic, men, this is one of the signs you cannot avoid. Number 9 is she's stuck in a fantasy and delusion rather than reality. And that delusion, honestly, the book tells us, is sent by the Most High Yah because they receive not the love of the truth. If they reject truth, the Most High Yah is going to send them a strong delusion. You can Bible that. You can Google that, and this is a woman that will move as if her feelings are the truth, when furthermore, they're nothing more than just a doggone feeling of the moment that comes and goes like the wind. You will try to explain stuff to her and it's going to make perfect logical sense, but in her mind, she's living in a state of la la land. Number 10, this is the final one, not healed from past relationships with men. A lot of these sexually immoral acts that a lot of women have taken part on, whether they lost their virginity to some guy that didn't feel a duty to them in X, Y, and Z, man, that has consequences for women down the road. And that shapes their whole doggone thought process and dynamic of men down the road. You can be the best guy. You can be a man that fears the Most High Yah and keeps the commandments. You can truly be a biblically high value man. But if she has not healed from past relationship trauma with men because of her own decisions and choices, men, this is a woman that's going to make your life a living hell. It's like for me as a former mechanic likened to fix old cars, man, there's some doggone project cars that are too far gone. They've got too much rust on the frame, on the foundation. When you look at a house, a lot of these houses that you see out here can have a brand new coat of paint, new appliances and stuff like that. But upon a good visual inspection, you'll find out that they have foundation damage. And that damage is doggone too much to bear. It's well beyond repair. You have to pretty much tear it down and start over. And as a man, you have to realize every one of her, her statements regarding what she expects out of you and holding you to this standard that's well above the Messiah is based upon her previous trauma with men, and she had a choice at one point in her life not to lay down with these men that she's laid down with. And you might be looking at a woman who not only is she not healed from past relationship trauma, but she needs deliverance from a lot of these soul ties. All of these men have put DNA, low vibrational, sexually immoral DNA in her. And what do you think's marinating all up in her? So as a man, you want to avoid the woman that has not healed from past relationships with men. You know, you can be my guest as a man and go against any of these things that I've said. But like I said in the beginning, if you go against, one of these, multiple of these, 10 things that I listed out and it backfires, you can't say somebody didn't tell you. And like I said, this is one of the most important decisions a man can make in his life. If you use these 10, if you use these 10 signs and having the gift of discernment, the ability to be able to judge character, to judge morals, to judge values, you should be able to go out there and select a righteous, set apart, godly woman who will furthermore add on to the peace you already have. But one of the worst things a man can do is to be at peace while single, searching for a wife, and select the wrong woman. Because selecting the wrong woman, the Proverbs 5, the Proverbs 7 woman, you are selecting a wife that already holds the keys to hell. And this is why your life is going to be a living hell and your peace will be sucked away from you. For the men out there that think finding a good wife is hard, by design, it's supposed to be that way. When you look at the Bible and it talks about how rare a prudent woman is, a virtuous woman is, her price is far above rubies. When you look at the price for a virgin in the book, this is why this stuff is rare. When we look at the preacher and it says he looked amongst 1,000 people and only found one righteous man, and amongst that 1,000 he found no righteous women, man, this is going to be extremely rare. But you have to be patient, because if you put the cart before the horse, it's going to surely backfire on you as a man. And once you realize these, especially for my men with a state issued marriage license or going down that route, once you realize these, if she doesn't want deliverance from them, man, there's no other option but to go through that hellfire, to go through the valley. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Closer to Y'all Ministries, kicking it gun barrel straight. Pow.